The queen of Chop Cult, first across the line tonight, Miss Lisa Ballard. Good to see you here. Bruno Coppola from Laconia, New Hampshire. Greg White from Tejas, even y'all. Jeff McKinney in with us. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Sunday. Time for America's first and favorite two-wheel motorcycle talk and entertainment show, Shop Talk. I'm your host, Chris Cowan, from 50 floors beneath the street level in the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio. Getting ready for another excellent episode. Radar's in the house tonight. Troy Phillips. Sup, you guys? Hope you're all happy and healthy. Well, I'll take one. The Mighty Quinn is here. Jeremy Sather, Minnesota, checking in. Boy, I bet you it's getting cold up there. It's getting cold everywhere. I got to tell you, it's a little bit of a drag, man. Like, fall riding aside, I don't think I'm ready. I don't think I'm ready for winter time. I don't want to put shit away yet. The only benefit is we're ramping things up in the garage. So the Grease and Gears garage is getting ready to be on fire. It's going to be epic this year. Ernest P. Ike, hello from North Carolina. Paul, I can't say it. I'm sorry. Jeremy, it is and it sucks. Jeremy Valentine, Fort Wayne, Indiana. Bill Stevens, cold Michigan. Radar, chilly here, 65 and windy. Oh, Harry Bostard, good evening. My old girl did it again. One vintage. Cut it out. Anne-Marie Weiss, hi, Annie. Dennis Stauber, Big D in the house. Little chilly in Marengo Falls. Did I say that wrong? I think I did. Russ Journey, Kearney, Nebraska. Bob Beatty, what's up, buddy? So cold here, I had to wear a t-shirt for today's ride. No, come on. Annie says, come to warm Florida. I sure would love to. So it's going to be a great show tonight, man. We got a gentleman in with us tonight that we got to spend some time with at Fall Foliage. Chicken Rick. Chicken fried choppers. You see his posts everywhere. Really interesting. Like, I want to see what's behind all those photos because he's got some of the greatest photos. It looks like nonstop adventure on his Instagram page. We're going to see if that's the story behind it. Will is here. What's up, man? Where's my tattoo, Will? Where's your machine? What's going on? 50 degrees here in Minnesota. It's colder than that in Pennsylvania, Jeremy, so no crying. What about you, Mark? You got your long johns on?
I don't even have pants on.
Yeah, it's going to be a hot time here in the studio tonight, boy. Hey, listen, there's just enough time, about 2 minutes on the clock. Who's ready for Daytona Biketoberfest? Everybody, Radar. Chopper time, Chris, be ready to get poked. Easy now. Let's get a couple drinks first and we'll negotiate a deal. 2 minutes, time to get a drink, kick back, relax, get ready for an excellent episode of Shop Talk. Don't go anywhere. Stick around. Firing up the motorcycles in the back room right now. That's Mark pulling in. Oh, no, you're already here. Just a minute left. Don't go anywhere. Oh, one last quick shout out. Marsha Fitzpatrick in the house. And to answer Bill Stevens, I did not find someone to haul my bike yet. The problem is I need the 49 panhead chopper, a couple bases, and a couple music cases for the High Seas rally taken down. So it's not just as simple as the bike. I'm kind of a pain in the ass. Heather will tell you that. 35 seconds left. That's just enough time for us to get it out of the station and up onto the tracks. Let's go a little bit early tonight and surprise Heather and launch this week's episode of Shop Talk. Here we go. Okay, scooter tramps and chopper jockeys all across the land. It's just after 9 p.m. on the East Coast. That means it's time for another episode of America's favorite two-wheeled talk show, Shop Talk. I'm your host, Chris Callen, with Cycle Source Magazine, and as always, joined by my fateful crew.
Hi.
Faithful?
Well, faithful.
Faithful. Crew.
Spell it and use it in a sentence.
Hey, come on. Come on now. What's the origin of the word? So, yeah, it's getting cold out, and this sucks ass.
No, it
It was
doesn't.
it was beautiful. It was like 65 degrees today up here. It was it was lovely.
Nope. It's cold. It's cold. I want to welcome everybody. We are piling up the episodes of Shop Talk. We're closing.
253.
Right? We're over the halfway
right.
the halfway point through 200s, going towards 300, which is amazing if you think about it. Took us 27 years to make 300 issues of Cycle Source. And Shop Talk, I don't even know what the actual anniversary of Shop Talk is. But it's
2018 maybe?
Yeah, we're already coming up on
2017? I don't know. It's been a long time.
within the next year we'll be at 300 with that, so that's pretty awesome, and that's all thanks to you guys, man. I mean, you know, all the sponsors up there aside, Dennis Kirk, we appreciate everybody that goes through the ticker up there that's helping bring this show to everybody, but really you guys for being part of this, setting your time aside every Sunday night and participating, which brings up a point. You don't have to just sit there and be another effing observer. That box off to the side there, you can participate in Shop Talk. You got questions, comments, concerns. Look, Gary Raphael's here. Jeff McKinney, I've been in Florida for a week.
Look,
yeah,
squirrel.
okay. Sorry, squirrel. Yeah, wherever you're watching, any of the 15 channels that we broadcast Shop Talk through on social media, you can put your comments in over there. And now, here's the question.
Oh boy.
So now you can watch Shop Talk on the comfort of your own sofa by tuning into Grease and Gears TV on Hulu, Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, iOS and Android devices.
That's pretty cool.
You can tune in, watch Shop Talk from the comfort of your own home, but you would have to still be tied into the computer so that you can comment.
That'd be
I
super,
think.
super-
Unless, well, it depends. Some, like on YouTube, if you have a keyboard attached to your
not
computer,
YouTube.
which a lot of people do.
Not YouTube. I'm talking about Grease and Gears TV.
Sorry, I guess I wasn't listening to you. Surprise, surprise.
Typical.
That'd be super cool if I could actually do Shop Talk from my couch.
We're working on that, Mark. We'll get
We're
back to
working
you.
on that, Mark.
Dan Toast in the house. What's up from Connecticut?
Hopefully Road King.
Oh, so good to see everybody here. Lots of stuff to get to tonight. We got a killer feature bike. We got an event report. If this is your first time checking in, you know, on top of where the hell you've been,
Right?
this is a program we do where we put out Steve Broyles. I was waiting to see you, Poppy.
Squirrel.
Poppy.
Every week we put out 90 to 120 minutes of all the two-wheel bullshit we can fit, some entertainment. We have a couple laughs. We go to the coast.
We went to the coast?
We don't really go to the coast, but we do start the whole thing off with
I went to the coast today.
Yeah.
I saw some very interesting things today.
Oh boy.
Subway, Boston, definitely interesting.
There's Subways in Boston too, not just Dunkin' Donuts.
You went to a Subway?
There are more things in Boston than Dunkin' Donuts. Yep.
Shut
But it was a
your
great day.
mouth.
It was
Well, there
beautiful.
is one on every block.
More than one on every block in a lot of
no
places.
shit.
Like
No
there
shit.
is nothing in the town that I grew up in. Like no traffic lights. There's
Look,
a few
we-
stop signs.
we
I
need
think
to
there's
give-
2 flashing red lights, but there is a Dunkin' Donuts in my town.
So
Like the
radar,
traffic jam
listen,
in town the other day was literally a herd of pigs.
radar,
Swear to God.
Radar's kissing your ass. Hang on for a minute.
Oh,
I like
boy.
the hat, Heather. What shade of lipstick is that you're wearing? Shut
That's
up,
kind of
Radar.
creepy. Radar.
Listen, I
I'm not
want to
gonna
give
lie.
some special love to Marsha Fitzpatrick because she has been sharing the
She's
show
tagging
tonight with
everybody.
everybody. Thank you so much, JD Daniels checking in from Salisbury, North Carolina.
Oh,
My
chocolate
man,
barbecue in the house. My man.
Rob Miller. Good evening, everyone. Randy Dunbar, Chris Hicks from Minnesota. We could keep this going all night, but let's start the show out with our little segment called the news.
Good.
news.
The Shop Talk World Report is brought to you by Law Tigers. Get the compensation you deserve and get back on the road with Law Tigers.
First up in the news tonight, and in from our own CycleSource Magazine World Report, the Mission Moto Beach Classic, Saturday, October 14th. Beachside motorcycle racing and custom bikes. The 2023 Moto Beach Classic, presented by Mission Foods, returns to the Bolsa Chica State Beach Saturday, October 14th, with a free-to-attend show for the entire family. Hey, the thing that I want to bring up, other than it seemed, was this a rename from last year? Was it always the Mission Moto Beach? But anyway.
I think that might be a new sponsorship going on there.
The thing I want to bring up is, man, they've really expanded this. I mean, Super Hooligan flat tracks, you know, the whole deal with that. Livewire motorcycle demos. Apparently they still make those. Which Vendor Village presented by Russ Brown. Architects of Inspiration Art and Bike Show presented by Progressive. Right on.
Oh, that's cool.
Super 73 Wheelie Contest. Stasic Electric Kids e-bike demos and race. Good for them for being involved in that. It's a great program. We always talk about that. Buell Brothers and Sisters says new sponsor. So there you go.
That's official.
Next up in the news comes in from Yahoo Finance. Daytona Beach area CVB launches Moto Passport scavenger hunt on Biketoberfest, registered trademark, mobile app.
This is going to be a long show tonight.
I know I'm not going to get any brownie points from the Daytona Beach Convention and Visitors Bureau for this, but at least they're doing something, right?
You know what? They're promoting people to hopefully ride to other local businesses. And I guess if you want to look at it, anytime you can promote somebody to ride, it's a good thing.
Yeah. I mean,
hey, I'm working on it here. I'm trying to help you out.
So locations that you can ride to get your scavenger hunt, that's what's behind it all. The official Biketoberfest mobile app, available free download on app stores, provides the most up-to-date information on everything there is to see, do, and experience during the 4-day rally. Blah, blah, blah. New this year, the scavenger hunt. The first 500 individuals complete the motor passport during Biketoberfest receive an exclusive collectible coin.
Oh, but everybody wants a coin.
So you can check them out at Yahoo Finance, but I'm sure you'll be able to check it out on the Daytona.
Yahoo? I like you.
Yahoo. Now, this is the real news piece that we wanted to get to. Buell. We put this out.
Let me just start by saying, Buell, just send one of those to us.
Yeah, please send us this motorcycle. If there was any doubt ever in anyone's mind that Eric Buell has the FXR DNA in everything he's ever done,
yes,
look at that son of a bitch right there. And it's 175 horsepower.
We want one
out of the gate. We absolutely
want one.
Absolutely want one of these motorcycles.
I think 2. I mean, let's not be greedy.
So
one for me, one for you.
We released this, 1 for me, 2 for you, 2 for me, 3 for you, 1 for you. Buell's Cruiser model hits 120 million in pre-orders. Now everybody's scrambling trying to do the math on this. The bottom line is this bike is tearing shit up and it's not even out yet. So good for Buell. They've had a
What's
rocky
the price
thing.
Point? It's like between 20 and 30, right? Is that the price point that I saw?
I think it was around 30, yeah.
I want a nice shot of that monoshock setup right
With
there.
its tall handlebars, mini fairing, and superbike level power claims, the Roland Sands design model has distinct echoes of HD's FXR. And again, you know, I attribute that to most of us that think FXR think Eric Buell somewhere.
Yeah,
was
most definitely
where he really started gaining a lot of fame within the motor company. But this is the reason this is especially good for us to talk about, man, is Buell had such a rocky road, you know, through the whole, like they finally got a motorcycle that was super competitive, and Harley, like after trying to push all the dealers to take them, pulled the plug on the whole program. You know, it's been up and down ever since, and retail range 20 to 30,000.
Yeah.
So I guess, I mean, not to be a buzzkill, like if they are $30,000, they've actually only pre-sold like 40.
Yeah, but
you know what I'm saying?
For a bike that's not going to be available till 2025.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, true.
Pre-sale.
Oh, wait a minute. No, I did my math wrong. Never mind.
No, somebody said that. Somebody said that in the comments. I read the headline, think 120 million, 30,000 for each bike equals 4,000 $50 pre-orders. I guess I could believe that.
That's pretty damn good.
4,000
I mean,
is a
that's
lot.
good for a bike not coming out for until
A year.
2025.
I'm just wondering if you put our $50
I want
down.
one.
Yeah, I think
So.
Did you say $50?
Hey, other news that we got to talk about in sales and trends as it applies to motorcycles. All zero electric motorcycles are now priced under $20,000 after major and permanent cuts. This comes in from Auto Evolution. This is a trend to keep an eye on with the whole electric bike movement. I can call it a movement because it puts me in mind of other things.
Movement.
Well, I mean, the trend right now is that the prices are going down, and I'm assuming that they're going down because they're not moving, and they just need to start offloading them.
That and people
maybe
people still having the question of what it's going to cost to replace the battery when it goes bad. So
yeah, that too.
There's the big punch in the gut.
That and the whole interpretation of saying that bike is fire might actually mean that bike is on fire.
And for Christ's sake, they can't put them out.
I'm just saying. I'm not hating. I'm just saying.
It's just not our jam.
Over to bikes that we would like to have in our garage. Triumph announces cheaper, more accessible Scrambler 1200X along updated XE.
What is the chance that we get all these guys to give us one and we compare them?
Oh,
you know
dude,
what I'm saying?
I'm just saying. Like even,
that'd be awesome.
Just saying.
Everybody should follow Indian Motorcycles lead and just deliver one to the house. Please.
So the Scrambler is one of my favorite bikes from Triumph. I've really liked between them and Royal Enfield, man. I've been digging a lot of what these guys are doing. They're really bringing it.
Royal Enfield really came out fighting. Yeah, they were swinging.
And it's a great bike. I mean, it goes on to say that the price have been cut between 1,000 and like 500 between the two different models, but it's a
which I have to say, like, they're not uber expensive anyway.
Yeah.
Comparatively speaking.
Jeremy Valentine says that Rich Petoniak loves his. And yes, Jeremy, we all know it. I haven't actually heard from Rich in a while.
Well.
Rich, if you're out there, buddy, we're all hoping you're doing okay. It scares me when I don't hear from him for a while because he went through such a bout with his health.
Yeah.
So lots to get to tonight, unless you guys have any more on the news. No.
Usually...
No, I mean, my breaking news for the day is somebody peed on the subway.
In front of you? And you didn't put it on?
Peed his pants. He peed his pants on the subway.
That's all right. They're his pants.
You didn't get it on the Cycle Source magazine TikTok? Oh, that's right. We don't have TikTok.
That's right.
We do. No, we do have TikTok.
Do we?
Now, if you would have peed your pants.
There is a Cycle Source TikTok. I just don't do it.
Oh, man.
If you would have peed your pants, that would have been a problem. But they were his pants. He can do whatever he wants with his pants.
You pee somebody else's pants.
Now you're going to get in trouble.
All right, man. Well, listen, we're going to take a look at a thing that we did last year that's coming up again fast. We're going to watch the event report on last year's
what did we do?
High Seas Rally.
What did I tell you? That I did not want to watch this. I'm going to watch
High Seas Rally.
Spoiler alert.
When we come back on the other side,
you will not see me
get to our guest, Chick and Rick. Don't go anywhere. You're watching ShopTalk on the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio Network.
It's brought to you by Clockwork. It's your ride. You decide.
All right, man, this is Chris with Cycle Source Magazine, Grease and Gears TV, and you can see the Mariner behind us. High Seas Rally getting ready to take off later today. We're on the dock getting all the bikes loaded up. Day 3, starting to blend together, but we actually stopped this morning when we woke up. We were in port.
Hey, what's happening? It's Xavier with Black Smoke Centers and Providence Cycle Works. Check it out. It is Tuesday. I think this is like the 4th day on the boat. Feels like we've been here a week. It is on. We are here on the pool deck. It's a beautiful day. We're at sea. Black Smoke Centers are going to take the stage about 1 o'clock. And we have a captive audience today, man. It's been awesome so far. A lot of laughs. Halloween last night was unreal. The costumes, the effort people put into having a good time, and they did, because we could hear them at 4 in the morning coming down the hall. You should be here.
That was a little adventure that we just went on. We went to the beach, and the waves were so big that you couldn't even go in the water.
Somebody tries to talk to you.
Thing standing between you and the open road is some garage time with the right parts and accessories to make your motorcycle roar. And that's why riders everywhere choose DennisKirk.com, the one stop you need to get your Harley back on the road. Our knowledgeable tech staff will help you navigate our more than 185,000 parts, apparel, and accessories that are ready to ship today, with free shipping on all orders over $89. So tune up your ride and get ready for the next adventure. Ride more, wait less. Dennis Kirk.
Hey, it's Billy from Twisted Tea. We're live in Sturgis, and you're watching Shop Talk.
Whether riding takes you from A to B or just lets you escape, there's a flow to the road you share. So go with it. Eyes open, and always have the Law Tigers by your side. If you've been injured in a motorcycle accident, visit us at lawtigers.com. Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers.
Okay, welcome back to Shop Talk in the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio. Great show going on tonight. We got a lot of stuff to get to, but our guest this evening, we said that in the beginning of the show that we got to hang out with him a little bit at the fall foliage, which Heather and I were on, but Mark was not on.
No. So
I don't
you
know
lied when you said we, because we didn't.
Well,
you did.
We.
I didn't.
All the way home.
Did.
I don't know what we have to do to get you up there, Mark. The lobster is insane.
You got to spend a little more time with Rick than I did. Like, I only got to say hello to him, and he probably thinks I'm a total jackass because he was like, "Hey, I'm Rick," and I hadn't had coffee yet. It was like early in the morning, and I'm like, "Yeah, hey, nice to meet you."
Yeah, you need to wear your.
And then I thought, I was like, "Wow, what an ass."
You need to wear your "Don't Approach Before Coffee" shirt more
Yeah,
often.
yeah, I do. That was a rough morning.
So, yeah, Cocaine Man, Tool, so jealous.
What?
There's a whole conversation going on up here. Cocaine says, Greasing Gears TV is live in the campground at the Power Trip Festival in Indio, California. Tool and Metallica tonight. AC/DC was legendary last night. Iron Maiden killed Friday night. What is this thing, and why are we not there?
Yo, and what are we missing?
Just going to say.
All kind of good shit. So anyway, we're here in the studio, and we shouldn't make our guest wait any longer. So let's get Chicken Rick on the line. Check him out.
Just Hanging Out in the Shop is brought to you by Spectro Oils. Made in the USA since 1966, the best oil on planet Earth.
What's up, man?
What's going on, guys? How are you?
Oh, well, you've been sitting there listening to our dumbasses. You know how we are. We're goofy.
Hey, well, you guys have had an awful lot of talented people on the show, so you finally got somebody who isn't. So.
Oh, come on. Come on, going through your Instagram alone, dude. Like, you know, I couldn't believe it. So we have a form that we have everybody fill out as they're coming on the show, so we can read, you know, the background of everybody and stuff. And when I read the part where it says how long you've been riding, since 2015, like, dude,
yeah, we've definitely getting pretty busy.
Yeah, no shit, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, usually, you know, we go pretty hard in the paint with everything, and motorcycling's no exception.
Yeah, no kidding.
Just catch the bug and just keep on going.
Well, and I mean, on top of the fact that you've been everywhere, it seems like I said earlier, nonstop adventure through your pictures. But when I look at some of your stuff, like let's go to a couple of your pictures here real quick. Like this here, you know, you cite this, I believe, as your daily rider.
Yep, that's the one.
So he pulls up on this thing at fall foliage, dude. And like everybody there, the entire Hamster Nation turns around and goes, "What?"
People start hiding their weed and stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, the other guys remember being kids and like absolutely idolizing the guys on the Chips TV show.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? And the bike was just so cool, dude. I can't even believe it. So
everybody was saying chips, and you know that TV show was before my time, and I just thought, you know, everybody wanted some potato chips. So
yeah, you're not supposed to remind
really
us that we're old.
How long have you had that bike?
So I bought that bike off of my friends in Phoenix earlier this year. Usually I buy bikes, sell bikes, you know, anything that looks like fun and a good time. And I've had my eye on a KZ1000P for a while. And my buddies got two of them, and they were riding around like the Chips police guys coming around corners. And it looked like so much fun. And I was like, if you get me a third one, we'll all ride to Bitwell's EDR in Mexico this year. And they're like, well, we are building an FXR. Why don't you just buy one of ours? So I said, all right. So I bought it, and we all rode down to Mexico together. And we have two of them in our group that we kept at the front of the pack down for most of the ride, which was really fun. And then I left it there. And then I figured it's a pretty reliable bike, you know, like if all the cops had them and everything, they have to go kind of good, you know. There's no amount of RTV that can't fix anything. So we glued it back together and rode it to Sturgis, and then after Sturgis, rode it back to Connecticut. Went to Canada first, but went to Connecticut eventually.
Well, listen, those bikes are absolutely reliable, but you know, even on a side note, like probably one of the most underestimated motorcycles as far as performance. I tell this story every once in a while about the first time I ever saw one of those, and a guy really had it souped up. And I made the mistake of going, KZ1000. I got 1340 shovel head over here, man. And he lit my ass up from that stoplight to the next one and continued the rest of the way through town. And we got out on the open road. I could never even catch him again. And I just realized that motorcycle was in a whole other class.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I had a KZ900. Was one of my first bikes. They used to call them Midnights, man. That thing was crazy fast. One of the fastest bikes I've ever ridden. They're
really funny. I have a couple of shovel heads, and I'm used to riding those. And the difference is that the faster you go on a shovel head, the louder and closer to an explosion it sounds like. But the Kawasaki, the faster you go on it, the more it smooths out. It really kind of sends you for a little bit of a loop when you start going in higher RPMs and you can't hear the bike run anymore.
Well, then looking at other pictures too. So which one is you in this picture?
I am on the right, on the
Husky. So this is another one of like the top 10 motorcycles of my entire history that I would have loved to have had. Like that year, I believe that was the 250 version that year, and they had a 125 that was that was black and silver in that same way and had the gold wheels and everything. But those bikes were so badass. Like you're like out of the gate riding legendary motorcycles.
Oh yeah, for sure. So, and that's another funny thing too, is I love Harley Davidson to my core, right? I always love them. But even that 1980 Husqvarna, taking that apart and putting it back together, it's like, wow, they really had quite an engineering team in 1980, huh?
Right.
You know, it's crazy how intuitive everything is, and nothing has to be shimmed, and everything goes right back together. There's a couple redundancies. It's like you're working in the future on a 50-year-old motorcycle.
Right.
But I get like talked into bad ideas, and the deal with that Husqvarna was my friends. I raced the Bilwell 100 on that with the same friends in Phoenix in Arizona, POS Moto, and they're like, Rick, build a dirt bike, build a Husky. We have a couple Huskies, and come race in the desert with us. And I don't race dirt bikes. I don't work out. I don't run. You know, like walking around the mall gets kind of difficult. So I went out in the middle of the desert and raced that thing in a 100-mile race, and it was without a doubt the hardest thing I ever did. And
oh yeah,
I was dropped dead, and then I had to drive back across the country. So maybe don't do that. I wouldn't recommend doing that.
Well,
I'd recommend racing. Just be smart about it.
Apparently, it sounds like you have to stop listening to your friends. So let's just start right there.
Well, and those.
It actually is more like, are they actually your friends?
Yeah, are they your friends?
I don't know. That's up for debate. You know?
Yeah, what are they getting? What are they getting out of you for this? Yeah.
Right.
You know,
so I like on his questionnaire, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get into motorcycling? And it says traded fire truck for motorcycle. There's more to that story. You don't just first of all, nobody just has a fire truck. Second of all, you don't just trade a fire truck for a motorcycle and be like, oh, I'm going to do this. I got to know.
Well, it matters if somebody's house is on fire.
Yeah. So the deal with that was I blew up my pickup truck in 2014 or 2015. And then I got on Craigslist and I found a fire truck, started Googling what it would take to daily drive a fire truck. And I went down to New Jersey. I had not really money burning a hole in my pocket, but I went down there and bought this fire truck for $4,500. I was definitely about 10 sheets to the wind at that time. And I drove it home with no CDL and a paper license plate and just drove it on the highway 50 miles an hour, 5 hours back to Connecticut. And those were my wheels for a while. So there was a 25-foot fire truck occupying our driveway. We drive it to the bar with the lights and sirens on.
Oh my God.
You know, we never got in trouble.
Okay. How have we not hung out with this cat before?
I don't know.
Needless to say, a short time after that, I stopped drinking, and that was also for the better. But the deal with that is I needed to offload this thing, right? It's a massive piece of machinery. Once it breaks, I can't afford to fix it. So I put it back on Craigslist, and a guy hit me up, and he said, hey, I have a 2000 Harley Davidson Road King. It's got 120,000 miles on it. Would you trade it straight across for the fire truck? And I said, absolutely. You know, 120,000 miles, that's nothing for a car. Why would it be any different for a motorcycle, right? So didn't know any better. Learned a couple lessons with that. And I drove the fire truck to his house. He dropped the motorcycle off at my house. And I was just going to keep it in my garage and flip it over the winter when spring came. And I YouTubed how to start it and how to shift it and everything. And I drove it out of the driveway. Coincidentally, my cousin was coming home from work at the same time, and his boss was like, man, your cousin really doesn't look that good on that motorcycle. You know, he's looking a little shaky. And my cousin's like, he 100% has never ridden a motorcycle, and that has to be his first time going. So,
that was great, though. I love that.
If you're not getting the trend here, it's definitely like a trial by fire situation with my whole life, and just kind of going.
Only one way to go.
I love it, though. I love it.
So before motorcycles ruined your life, I mean, saved your life, What did you do?
I grew up in the garage that I'm in right now. It was my grandfather's garage. We spent all of our time here wrenching on bicycles when we were kids. We grew up on mini bikes. Motorcycles were never really on my radar as something to have. We were big into pickup trucks, like little mini slammed out S10s and stuff like that. And I had a Fox body Mustang. I had a couple different cars.
Nice.
And once I got the motorcycle, it was like, wow, you can kind of finish these fast. There's half of everything. They're significantly cheaper to work on than cars. And it was just a lot more appealing to me. And then growing up riding mini bikes and everything, and then getting on a motorcycle, it's like, these are legal? Like, this is like just as much fun, except 10 times faster. Like, why are people allowed to ride motorcycles? Like, this is just too much fun. Immediately caught the bug, got rid of all the cars and trucks, and then just went full blast on motorcycles since then.
So speaking of your mini bike prowess and your friends talking you into bad things. Yeah.
How'd that pan out?
How that happened was in 2020, I went to Mama Tried for the first year. And we went there, and then I found out what the world of boonie bike racing was. Basically just fully hopped up mini bikes. And that was the year that COVID shut the whole thing down. So they scheduled like 5 or 6 pop-up mini bike races across the city. And we went and showed up at all of them just to watch, because there's really not a whole lot else to do in the middle of winter in Wisconsin. And I immediately went home and got the welder out and then started cutting up a pit bike and made that monstrosity.
That's awesome.
And we just crash it and smash it and weld it back together and bend the frame and retweak it out, and it's gone for a good couple of years now.
So one of the things I want to talk about before we get too far away from it, you talked about doing a cross-country trip on the police bike where you went to Biltwell's EDR. Tell me about EDR from your perspective, because that's one of my, all the time I say I want to go to EDR, I want to do EDR, and I haven't been able to put the pieces together to go, but that looks like the one, a lifetime trip.
Yeah, it is very cool. There's something special about it for sure. There's definitely an element of danger crossing the border. You're in a different country and kind of anything could happen, and you're playing by their rules down there. So, the safety net of AAA and cell service and, stuff like that, that's kind of out of the window. And sometimes EDR gets a little bit of a rap from people saying that, it's kind of like curated and, it's hipster city down there, but it's really not. It's a full-blown party. It's the real deal. And there's a lot of people that ride really old bikes all the way down through the desert. And the thing that you have to understand is that there's huge stretches without gas or anything. And it's hot. I mean, I've gone twice so far, and it's been well over 100 degrees both times. So if you're riding an old bike down there and you're rolling the dice on it, it's one thing to get Sportster parts, but, you're trying to get old panhead parts and everything.
Right.
My hat really goes off to anybody, riding old stuff down there, because either you got your shit so dialed in that you're confident that it's going to make it, or you're kind of a crazy person.
A little bit of both for EDR.
A little bit of both.
Hey, real quick, I want to send an apology out. Earlier, at the very beginning of the show, actually, I said Queen of Chop Cult, Lisa Ballard, and I had forgot that her position changed there, and it's just been so long. Like, she's had such a long career with that organization. I didn't mean anything bad by it, but my apologies. I'm sorry.
Loser.
I know. The heaviest hitter ever. Are you serious?
What's that?
I've talked to her for years now, and I can't wait to meet her. I really have to go out to California and, meet the queen of the castle for sure.
Right. I know. She's
she's from our neck of the woods, right, Rick? She's from New Hampshire.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's from our neck of the woods. She's a northeastern.
She's pretty
Live
awesome.
Free or die.
She is. She's a lifer, that's for sure.
We love Lisa here.
Oh yeah,
we love Lisa here.
Yes. No, so now fix the groove you just.
I'm sorry.
You just shattered.
I'm sorry.
Come on.
You do it.
So
You're
that
up.
that Sportster that you just posted a picture of, that red thing, that was another friend decision from the POS Moto guys in Arizona. And that bike I rode here my first year.
This one?
It's an Evo Sportster. I told them to make it as stupid as humanly possible, so they put a Goldwing Tour pack and a windshield on it, and I rode it down to EDR with them, and then I rode it to North Carolina for the Backroad Barbecue run. And it's clapped out, right? Like that's not like a nice, well-oiled machine. And it was taking like a half a quart of oil every morning, but it was doing like 650 miles without much effort, and that was without a doubt the longest motorcycle trip that I ever went on, and that was the first one that I've ever went on across country, and it's a special machine, that's for sure.
Right on.
Well, those Evos are about bulletproof as long as you can keep oil and gas in them.
Oh, for sure. A little charging system action, and it'll get you anywhere.
There you go.
Yeah, that's great bikes.
So tell me a little bit. So like I was saying earlier in the show, we ran into you at the Fall Foliage. Tell me about how you got there and what your impression of Fall Foliage was, because that's kind of a legendary event in itself too. That thing's been going on for, what was the anniversary this year, Heather? 30th year.
Yes.
So the deal with that was me and my buddy Rob the Crazy Gentleman. Rob was going to do a podcast with Dave Perowitz, and he asked if I wanted to go and take pictures. And I said, of course I want to go see Dave Perowitz. I've never met him before. Like, this is a great opportunity. So we went up there and we recorded a podcast, and we ended up hanging out with him for like 5 hours. And apparently he kind of took a liking to me and Rob. And he asked if we wanted to go on the foliage run, and I said, yes, absolutely. We will not be missing that.
Right on.
So, I showed up, I rode, my police bike up there, and, I've never met any of the hamsters before. I've only met Dave, and, they have a specific status in the motorcycle world, right? Like they're kind of the OGs of it. A lot of people in it have, shaped the world and landscape of motorcycling in many different ways. So I wasn't really sure what I was going to be walking into. And definitely after the first night when we all went out to dinner and everybody was hanging out in the bar and restaurant, I couldn't believe how welcoming everybody was. And, especially being one of the only people without a yellow shirt on, every person that walked by you asked like, hi, how are you? What do you do? Like everybody was genuinely interested in what you had going on. And I thought that was the coolest thing ever, because I've spent the last couple of years going to motorcycle events all across the country. And that's not always the case.
Right.
I've spent years and years, waiting to shake hands with somebody or waiting to introduce myself. And it was just so very cool to meet an entire group of people who were just so willing to accept somebody that's clearly an outsider.
Yeah, it's funny. A lot of people don't know that the chief mission statement of the Hamsters USA is to further the custom motorcycle culture. It's been that way since the inception of the group in 1978. And I mean, of course they see somebody like you that exemplifies all the good parts of this and all the fun and everything. Of course they're all going to be welcoming to you. That's their whole bag, man.
Yeah.
Well, I was super appreciative of it, and it was great to see Cape Cod. I went there, just with my fiance. I keep meaning to say girlfriend, but that's a recent status change. But we went there a couple years ago, and I was excited to go back and kind of see it on a motorcycle, and it was fun going and checking out all the lighthouses, everything, and kind of reliving that trip a little bit. So it had a couple different dynamics going on at the same time to really make it a great weekend.
Yeah.
And even though it rained and it was cold, it was still very cool.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that was you on that motorcycle right there. You were one of the toughest guys of the crew, because it got super cold, rainy, shitty out, like, typical fall New England. And you and I think 2 other guys were actually still doing the ride, and the rest of us all did pickup truck rally.
Yeah, we went bowling.
Bunch of old sissies. Yeah, we went bowling and had pizza.
Well, if this year was definitely summarized in one thing, it would definitely be rainstorm. So it just kind of felt like another weekend, unfortunately.
Yeah, no kidding, huh? That had to be something all year long for you to contend with.
We got hail in Arizona when we were going right before we hit Monument Valley. We got tons of rain in Sturgis. I got rain on the way home through Canada, and it just has been nonstop with the rain. So I got plenty of rain gear, and I haven't learned my lesson on waterproof boots, but maybe eventually I'll wise up a little bit. But probably not.
I wouldn't call it wise up, dude. I got in my 2003 Ultra.
Chris has been riding longer than you've been alive, Rick, and he still has.
Hey, let's not throw the old guy shit around. I was just trying to say I love motorcycles a lot too.
Tell me I'm not right though.
You ain't right.
You ain't right.
I am right.
Well, you ain't right.
Mentally,
I am right.
I got you, fam. Look, Logic Cycles is here. Don't say it, Mark. I knew you were going for it.
Well, if you're thinking you're gonna master any of it or outsmart the weather or any of that, dude, you're just keep riding, just keep having fun.
Yeah.
Like once you think you're gonna plan ahead, get stuff organized, make it happen, that's when everything goes awry.
Listen, so. I can tell you some funny shit about. I went on the first ever Hoka Challenge. Nobody knew what was gonna happen. It ended up being a 9,600-mile ride. You know, that you didn't know 1,000 miles at a time you got new directions. You got a new direction sheet. So we knew that we were starting in Key West, Florida, and eventually we were going to make it to Homer, Alaska. So I tried to plan a lot of stuff. Well, part of the rules were you couldn't have any support. You had to sleep with the bike. You know, no GPS or anything like that. No help from home. No drugs. So you couldn't do accelerants. And it was a race. And I ended up doing the thing in 14 days. Or wait, 11 days. The winner was 2 days ahead of me. But there was so much stuff. Like I'm so, when I look back on it now, I was a dumbass because I'm packing bear repellent and all this stuff. Once I got up on the Alaskan highway and realized that like that bear is going to stop for 2 seconds and go with the bear repellent and then eat your ass anyway.
Right.
I threw it out so that I had more room for food and shit in case I broke down because you are so far from everything. So what Mark's saying, absolute gospel. Like you should never let the what ifs get in the way of what could be, you know, especially when it comes to a motorcycle adventure, but life in general. But yeah, it's you can't plan for some of this.
No, you only get one trip around. You know, it's what do they say? It's a one-way ticket. Yep. Life in general, and you know, I think that you're kind of crazy if you're not trying to see it all. You know, like
right on.
I'll just go for it. What's the worst that could happen? You're gonna die. You know, you're gonna die anyway.
Yeah, you only die once. Enjoy it before that happens.
Oh, that's it, buddy. I see. You know, a lot of our guys, we live in absolutely the Rust Belt. So a lot of guys that grew up here with me and Mark did the exact same thing that their father, their grandfather, their great-grandfather had graduated high school. They went to the mill, and the whole time they're working at the mill, they're talking about when I retire, I'm going to do this. When I retire, I'm going to do that. Yeah. And like I've seen it play out in my time where sometimes it doesn't come through, and they don't ever get to do all the shit they waited their whole life to go do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did
right, even if you have to Griswold it, just do it.
Well, I did the total opposite. I screwed off, and then I went to work.
Yeah, Mark's working for his retirement. That's what he's doing.
I figure I'll just die at work one day.
No, so good on you. Tell me some of your most epic memories. Like I can tell you, the first time standing at the edge of the Grand Canyon on a motorcycle trip was like just I couldn't even still to this day explain it to somebody. But what's some of yours?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I rode the $1 Million Highway for the first time this year. And, you know, just especially out west, you know, because I grew up out here on the East Coast. I haven't spent very much time traveling out west at all, really, in general. You know, especially California, that's still on the bucket list. But when you go to places like Monument Valley or, you know, like sometimes even simpler, Like I was riding through Arizona. We weren't really far away from Ramjet Racing, and we were going back towards the highway, and we were just going over this hill, and the sun was just setting, and you know, like the Arizona state flag, how it's like the sun and all fanned out in all different colors. It was like that.
Yeah.
It was just like the flag, and it just made so much more sense of, you know, why that is.
Right.
These places like the $1 Million Highway, it, like when people use the expression "it looks like a painting," it really does look like a painting. And like sometimes you're riding your motorcycle and I don't know if you're just exhausted or what, but you're just looking ahead of you, and like it just doesn't feel real sometimes when you're looking at some of these landscapes. And you know, like you have to question if you're on drugs or if you're still on drugs the night before, or you know,
Well, some of
just a little razzle dazzle.
some of us don't have to question
on a
that.
motorcycle.
Yeah, what, you and the weed again?
Yeah, I mean, some of us don't have to question, but you're right. I mean, the coolest thing about it, I mean, I talked to a ton of people. They fly all over the country. I'm like, dude, you're missing the most exciting part of any vacation you ever take. It's the trip, point A to point B.
Yep.
Sometimes that outlives the actual place that you go to spend time.
How many times, dude? How many times have we like ended up in the asshole of the United States?
Oh yeah,
with a horrible story, and in the middle of it, he wants to kill me. I'm planning his death, but we come back and it's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, think of it, between us, how many trips we've taken, you know, on top of that, how many trips I've taken with Pat, you know, hauling the lead sled stuff around. The trip is the most fun. You know, we've gotten to a couple places and then realized that we had some addictions on stuff like NOS or 5 Hour Energy or something just by looking in the bed of the pickup truck, and there's like 800 little bottles of 5 Hour. We're like, dude, we need help. But just the fun, the meeting the people, pulling up. I remember coming home from Texas Lone Star Rally one year, and somehow along the way, the lady knew that Cochran won the show and wanted to see the bike. And we're loading on the ferry, and the lady's making us open the trailer up so she can see the bike that won the Lone Star, you know, or won what was it?
In Motion.
In Motion, yeah. Like just some of the coolest people you meet. And yeah, you're right. You take a look at stuff and you wonder, man, how did I get here? You know.
Well, and looking at his Instagram, you're definitely doing it. I love in your question. We have a question, wizardry, on the form. What do you do? And you put influencer, racer, parts manufacturer, wrench, etc. But your explanation is using the internet to bring people together and build friend groups across the country. That's one of the best descriptions of living this motorcycle lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy, you know, and it's insane because it looks like it's such a big world from the outside, you know, like you think of people who have motorcycles, but then once you really get in it and you start, you know, putting together the different groups of people across the country, and, you know, like you have like this whole crew of people that goes to Four Corners Rally every year, and you have this whole group of people that goes to Fuel Cleveland together every year. You know, you run into these pockets of people. And, you know, for the most part, if people stick around in the motorcycle world, like they're usually pretty good people, you know, like the beautiful thing about the motorcycle world is that, you know, assholes kind of have a special way of weeding themselves out really fast.
Yeah, buddy.
So, yeah, it's so much fun. You know, like I've definitely met and put together some really good groups of friends, you know, from Kansas to Arizona to Milwaukee. Ohio, and it's just such a fun thing to have like a network of people all over that you could have an experience with, and it's like a specific type of friendship. Like we don't talk every day, me and these groups of people. The Martian Machines out in Kansas, Mikey Revolt and company out in Ohio.
Mikey's the best, right?
Yeah, oh, for sure. And but when you're together, it's like you just walk right back into wherever it is that you left off, you know, like it just immediately picks right back up and you guys are off and running again. And I think that that's the greatest thing ever, you know, like it is so much, it's so much fun to experience traveling on a motorcycle. But when you're doing it with people and you have people waiting at the destination that you're getting to where you guys are going to go out for dinner or something, it just makes it so much more special. and you know, there's a lot more laughs. And I mean, the motorcycle community is nothing if it wasn't for the people, right?
So
Amen.
we're all kind of dicks because all night long we've been calling you Rick, and your actual name is Patrick, and it's reminded me that was Teach saying Patrick's one of the best people. But you know what? I gotta tell you, man, like, you know, there's a lot of the guys from previous generations in this stuff, you know, that have a lot of negative stuff to say about some of the younger guys that are in this thing and coming into it and stuff. And I gotta tell you, like, it's refreshing to have a conversation with somebody who's from the younger generation that has the perspective and, you know, is doing it from a genuine place like you. I have to tell you, it's really, for us, it means a lot.
Well, I appreciate it, but it's not for no reason, right? Like, I kind of seen that as a trend of the older generation, you know, being really exclusive with it, you know, not being very welcoming and everything. And there is a huge part of me that like wants to keep motorcycling kind of aggressive, you know, like I ride around on my chopper like a major asshole through red lights and everything, you know, just to make sure that people don't think we're getting too soft out here.
Amen.
But it's not my personality to be a tough guy. Like, I'm not a tough guy, you know, like I could barely lift like a 5-pound bucket of sheetrock compound, you know what I mean? Like I can only do so much here.
Good for you. Hey, 1 second, real quick. I wanna reach out. Just I keep seeing Becky Zarling and Becky Quiver Zarling. Are you the Quiver that I met at the Motorcycle Riders Foundation? If you are, congratulations. Welcome to Shop Talk. I'm so glad you're tuning in. Either way, I mean, welcome to Shop Talk. But I just wondered. The MRF thing that I went to a couple weeks ago is still in my head. Like, oh yes, it's her. The meeting of the minds was incredible. We have so much stuff going on with that now. The independent motorcycle aftermarket is up over 100 members. You know, there's a lot of buzz going on. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to the MRF. Go search for the independent motorcycle aftermarket through social media. You'll find out. But really good stuff happening there. I'm sorry I had to break in with that for a second, dude.
Was that World News Report?
No, man. That was listen. That was kind of public service. I'm over here doing the work, you know.
What?
Oh,
well, you know, you are right though. You know, we talk about it all the time. The thing that's changed in motorcycling is it has gotten a little bit soft. Like, you know, back in the day, you did something wrong, somebody punched you in the mouth.
Right.
Now you have to go through 5 different people, and you have to have a little talk with them and stuff. And you know, like you said, you don't have to be a badass. I mean, not everybody's a badass. That's part of, I think, what started changing it. So many people were showing up on, you know, on their store-bought bikes, and they're, you know, they had everything they had on was Harley Davidson, and they were all of a sudden instant tough guys. And you know, that's almost what started driving some of the lifers.
Yeah, the tough guy thing wasn't it.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
if you really think about it, man, like, we were a tribe of lost and restless people, and it's always been that way for generations.
Yep.
You know, we didn't fit into conventional life. We didn't fit in the social circles and everything right around our house, so we started traveling to look for people that were like us. It's always been that way, you know. So the tough guy thing, I think I was more the guy with the white sunglasses on in the old 70s movie.
And again, those were a joke. Please, people, stop taking those serious. They were
those movies were not real.
Yeah, they weren't real. It wasn't how it was.
I think at the end of the day, it really was. I really have to believe it was the movie persona that like gave the bad rap, because in the core of it all, the motorcycle community is one of the most giving and generous communities that I've ever encountered in all the years that I've done a whole lot of different things.
Wait, Anthony Robinson just put a comment up. He says that I'm a tough guy. Then he does the goofy face emoji and a kiss.
Anthony, I love you, but you are so not a
You're
tough
not
guy.
a tough guy.
You're just
you build some tough Triumph motorcycles.
Oh
I'll give
God.
you that shit.
Yeah, I'm calling you, by the way. We need to get you on here.
I'll tell you what, this is my first year that I went to Sturgis, and we were in downtown Sturgis, and everybody's wearing black, right? Everybody's got black leather jackets on.
So dumb.
And me and all my buddies have tie-dye shirts on, and the Harley Davidson Choppers magazine show, they gave us towels because it was raining, like beach towels, and they were pink and blue, and we had Hawaiian shirts on, and they were not stoked about it. The entirety of Sturgis cleared the sidewalk. So if you want to get around Sturgis like pretty effortlessly, just put on a whole bunch of tie-dye and everybody will like part the sea for you.
And that's kind of dumb because, quite frankly, black is hot as hell.
Yeah,
like seriously,
we've been saying that
like,
forever.
and really, the only reason Chris really wears black is because he can't look at any other color without getting dirty.
I'm wearing less black now.
But I dig the whole Hawaiian shirt thing because like it's a colorful world. It's okay.
I seen one other person wearing a tie-dye shirt, and I would bet all of the money in the world that it was Rick Fairless. I'm like, I seen a tie-dye shirt go by, and I'm like, that had to be Rick Fairless.
Oh, and Rick was in Sturgis this year. It probably was him.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh. All right. Well, listen. Tell everybody where they can run into your escapades and all these adventure-filled pictures that we keep talking about, so that we can hip them to where to keep up with Chicken Fried Choppers and Chicken Rick.
You can check out all of the photos on Facebook and Instagram at Chicken Fried Choppers. I sell a whole bunch of custom handmade motorcycle parts from builders all across the country. Just, small guys doing it in their shop and, manufacturing quality parts just at home. And I just try my best to help them sell their products. What else? Where else could you reach me? I'll be at Born Free, Texas. I'll be taking photos on behalf of Harley Davidson at the Axles Hideout. So if you're going to Born Free, Texas, and you want to say what's up, come find me over there with all the ladies.
Dude, this cat right here, Hawthorne, I ran into him when he was first coming out with these little circuit breaker mounts. What, like, I love shit like this. I love that this is where our thing is getting to. Like, he literally 3D prints parts, and this was before Nine Figure Fab was doing stuff, and now that whole thing is just broke open. It's so badass.
It's insane, right? Little circuit breaker mounts, they just pop right out. Not a big deal.
Oh, and they're strong as shit too. You know what I mean? Anybody who's run any of the old ones before, like these are strong as shit. I would run them on every motorcycle that I make.
Oh, for sure, they are nice.
So right on, man. Listen, it's been a real pleasure getting to know you a little bit more. I hope we get to spend some time with you.
Your family now at this point, so like wherever we are,
Lucky
you always have a place.
I really appreciate that.
That may not be a good thing all the time, but yeah, you always have a place. We're always looking for more dirty chopper jockeys to add to the crew. So.
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you guys very much for having me on, and I'll make sure to bring you a coffee next time.
There you go, my man. All right, dude. We'll catch you on the flip.
All right. Thanks again.
All right, everybody. You're watching Shop Talk on the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio Network, and we're going to go real quick here and look at a cool feature bike. When we come back on the other side, we got a little bit more. Don't go anywhere. This is Shop Talk.
Out of Focus is brought to you by Garage Build. Submit your build, share your passion. Powered by Dennis Kirk.
Billy Johnson from Pensacola, Florida. Motorcycle, it's a 1973 Harley Davidson AMF Rapido. One of the Italian-made Harleys, a little 125. I got it about 4 or 5 years ago. Guy was selling up $100. It was a seized engine, rusted up. Kind of put it in the back of the shed till I had some free time, and I decided, I'll pull it out. Let's build something different. I go to shows all the time. You see all kinds of newer bikes, all like customs or vintage restorations. You really don't see these things. People will custom build them and kind of do something original. So I wanted something a little more fun, kind of do something between like a flat track racer, a cafe racer, something kind of in the middle. Starting at the front, took out the front forks, did a reverse front forks on it, switched everything to hydraulic brakes, hydraulic clutch, kept the original tank, just did like a kind of the original two-tone paint, add a little bit of silver flake to it. switched out the carburetor to a Nibby racing carb with a pod filter, hydraulic clutch on it, kept the new old stock original rubbers for the foot and for the pegs, kept the frame the way it was, chopped out the supports from a dual shock, built a monoshock system, took the swing arm, lengthened it 8 inches, pushed it out another 2 inches so I could do 21 inch in the rear and in the front. To accommodate the sprocket, I had to offset the front sprocket 3/4 of an inch, cut out a little bit of the chain guard of the engine and polish it up, just so you had the width to fit the big wheel in the back. All the wiring is a custom fiberglass section in the back. All the wiring, the battery, regulator, everything is built in here. All the wiring goes through the frame, so all you see is a spark plug wire coming out the front with a custom 32 Ford taillight, modified taillight coming out of a fiberglass shaft. And then hand-built, hand-twisted exhaust. Built my own muffler, packed it so you get a little bit of sound absorption. So all that's all hand-built. My garage at home is it's about a 2.5 car garage. I have separate hard shed 12 by 12 and a couple of Harbor Freight 10 by 17 storage sheds. I currently am sitting about 30 bikes. Once they get done, they're pretty. I live in a kind of a bougie neighborhood, so all my neighbors kind of ride around in golf carts. I'll pull one of these out and ride around the neighborhood and kind of piss off everybody with how loud it is. Clean them up in my house. I keep 7 bikes in the house. They're all the pretty. I got some vintage Ducatis in the house, a bunch of Yamamakis, a little Indian. Everything kind of just decorates my house with vintage bikes. So I had the little 1971 Indian MX-74, little 2-stroke, little 70cc bike that I kind of did all white and seafoam, makes it stand out like a little beach cruiser. Some fat tires on it. It gets attention because no one's really seen one before, and it just is a little different. Billy Johnson, Pensacola, Florida, and I'm a Dennis Kirk garage builder.
Everything we do at the track shapes what we build for the street and the dirt.
You can see how bad these guys want it. A race to the line.
For us, racing is not for the trophies or the glory. We compete because it makes everything we do faster, more durable, and tested to a higher standard. For S&S, racing is the ultimate in proven performance, and we've been proving it since 1958.
I'm Brian Clock from Clockworks in Mitchell, South Dakota, and you're watching Shop Talk.
Okay, welcome back to the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio. You're watching Shop Talk, produced here locally by Cycle Source Magazine. Hey, so big news to talk about. Grease and Gears TV.
I have a reminder.
Grease and Gears TV. Nope, don't step on my promo.
Do not
do it.
Whatever.
Grease and Gears TV. Tons. We're officially calling it the Pornhub of motorcycles. Maybe that's not great, but it's a working title.
It's a working title.
Everything on this, from tech, lifestyle stuff, professional monkeys on there, feature bikes from all over the place, road trips, motorcycle cannonball, the chase, racing. You can watch the Battle of the Baggers, the Moto Fight Club, all kind of good stuff. Interviews, event coverage, even Shop Talk. As you can see
and
right
you
here.
too could be a content creator on Grease and Gears TV. No, I'm just kidding.
You could be a content creator.
If you don't talk, you could. Very important announcement also.
Let's see how important your announcement is. Go ahead.
332 days, 11 hours, and 52 minutes to smoke out 2024.
By the way, Chicken Rick, you are invited with your mini bike to smoke out.
Yes. Yes.
Lisa Ballard, somewhere, where'd it go? Lisa said she loves the music in that commercial. Oh, that's Anthony Robinson.
That was Anthony Robinson.
I do too. Like the whole time that commercial's on, we're dancing around like idiots. So maybe you saw when we put the video up of the event coverage of High Seas Rally last year, that it said at the end that you can see the full video on Greasing Gears TV. You can also see that particular full video on our Cycle Source YouTube page. Plenty of stuff going on there all the time. You want to check that out. But by and large, things are going to start making their way more to Greasing Gears TV. So you want to check that out.
Oh, not yet, Nick. I'm sorry. Reservations are not open yet.
We've
waiting.
had so many people.
I know. I know. We have the contract in place. We have the dates. We're good to go. We're just waiting for a little bit more information.
Well, the biggest thing
pricing.
is I'd like to unpack all the shit from this year. That would be really good.
I think when I get home, I think in my bedroom there's still a suitcase from Sturgis that I haven't unpacked yet.
Yep. It's getting like that. But hey, that's the life, man. I dig it. She digs it. He digs it. You dig it.
Like,
we dig it.
the only thing, if I could change one thing,
Can you dig it?
The one thing, if I could change, I love the travel and I love being on the road. I won't lie. I wish we could do a little bit more of it on the motorcycle. I do.
Well,
Just saying.
We're working on that. So
we just need a teleportation device for all the.
You need to make it out there, Anthony Robinson. You tell me when you're ready, buddy. Whatever you need.
Yes.
You want vendor spot. You want to be in the builder showcase. Whatever we can do to make it more appealing for you to be there. Hey, listen, man. We're running over the hour, so I think we're gonna wrap this one up for this week. We're gonna cut Heather loose, who's still away on vacation.
Oh, you shut your dirty, filthy, rotten mouth. Liar, liar, pants on fire.
I was waiting for that. Logic Cycle says he's working on you being able to ride more.
What's about time you did something out there?
Right?
Get it done.
Apparently you're home enough. That was low. Listen,
I didn't say it. He did.
I want to thank all of you guys for being here with us. As a reminder, High Seas Rally right around the corner. Get your tickets. Still time to get on the boat with
Galveston
us.
Lone Star Rally. I will be there.
Lone Star Rally packed full of stuff. There's a big announcement there. There's a chopper show coming in. Our buddy over at
Destroyer Garage. They're doing high tide chopper show on Friday, November 3rd over on Pier 21. Saturday, November 4th is the annual ride-in, Cycle Source ride-in bike show. I'm bringing, I'm going to have Camel and Michelle and Pat Jansen with me. Chris will still be on the cruise ship.
I'll be there Sunday for Ben and Jerry's.
Don't be a hater.
I'll be there Sunday.
You don't get Ben and...
yes, I do.
Oh,
yes,
no.
I do.
You get no ice cream.
Yes, I do. Here, look. I do get ice cream. See how I did that? I do get ice cream. And never screw with the guy that has the mute button. That's what I'm saying.
Boy.
All right, man. Harrisburg Swap Meet coming up. Listen, events. We are looking to start plugging events, so send us your event flyers. Send the event flyers. And since I didn't get the event flyer done for this yet, everybody get ready for Dream Rides Bicycle.
Well, that's coming up.
Their bicycle.
Yeah, they're going to start doing that now.
Yeah.
Bicycles and can we collect helmets to go along with the bicycles?
We should,
Why you shouldn't?
We should. Can we start up why don't we do a helmet collection and they can do bicycles and then we'll marry the two?
What can we do? Can we send some kind of package out to everybody that includes helmets with their bicycles? We can do like a Cycle Source ride along. Like if you donate the helmet, we send something, a package of stickers and hat, something like that.
Well, maybe we'll work on something like that for sure. I dig it.
All right, man. Well, listen, again, thanks for spending some of your time with us here on Sunday night in the Dennis Kirk studio for Shop Talk. We go live every Sunday, 9 p.m. on the East Coast or thereabout,
Ish. Cycle source time is ish.
Ish.
Is.
We'll do the best we can until we collect another 90 to 120 minutes of all this bullshit together. See you next Sunday. Same chopper time.
Same chopper channel.
Can you dig it, Felicia?
That one was good.
We'd like to thank our sponsors for their continued support, and we hope you pay them a visit when you're in the market for great motorcycle parts, products, and events. S&S Cycle, Makuni American, Baco Parts, The Broken Spoke Saloon, Twisted Tea, The Iron Horse Saloon, High Seas Rally, Twisted Choppers, Twin Power, Drag Specialties, Geico, Law Tigers, Tech Cycle, Fueling Parts, Lone Star Rally, Hijinks Apparel, Progressive Insurance, Spectral Oil, No School Choppers, Motion Pro Tool.